The one thing that I really liked about reading online about this place is that it didn't seem to be like CrossFit. I did one class, and it looked like a bunch of people waiting to get hurt. So.
Wow. Just for those watching, they know that's a kind of a thorn in my side when we use the word CrossFit. But it's not a one size fits all. It's CrossFit. There is a populace that will migrate to that type of workout. Mm-hmm. Extremely well conditioned. The problem with some of those workouts, like a CrossFit type workout, they're so intense and they're so ballistic, using Olympic lifts, trying to do these motions and positions that are a little bit so far into the joint that your body can't dissipate the forces. And it is a kind of a one-size group setting, so no matter how conditioned you are or deconditioned you are, they actually have you do the same thing. Now they progress and regress and go through, a beginning or starting phase, how to learn how to do an overhead press properly, doing it with a PVC pipe or something light versus an actual iron bar, and I get that and I understand that. But it comes to a point where, there are certain motions and positions that the body should never go into, because it's really not the goal in mind. It's just if I'm going to burn calories and do things quickly and go through a circuit training, strength training type program, I want to make sure that I'm in an optimal position and I'm not going to exacerbate or I'm not going to accumulate stress throughout my body by doing exercises that really have no application. So,
Okay.
I mean, is that kind of what you went through when you went there?
I saw some people that looked like they had really great form, doing good things, but the majority of the people there looked like they were going to get injured. Like body parts were going in areas they weren't supposed to go, and it didn't really seem like there were people paying attention to you can't possibly pay attention to what everybody's doing. So it really didn't seem like trainers were like one-on-one.
Yeah.
So I like this scenario much better. So if I'm doing something incorrectly, I definitely want you to tell me. Although, however, I did go online and I did see some of the things that you had said, don't ever do. I was like, oh, I do that. Oops.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I want to clarify that. There's no such thing as a wrong exercise at all. Zero.
Okay.
Every exercise on the planet has a risk and it has a benefit ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then there's levels of control. So, the word full range of motion, as an example. Full range of motion is your ability, Kendall, to control the load. And what range can you control the load? Is it excessive range or is it in your mid range and your strong range? So it's not about learning an exercise and in one size fits all. There's ways to develop an exercise pattern, like a basic step back lunge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you done lunges before?
Yes.
Okay, so show me your version of a lunge. Now you're here basically to learn,
Mm-hmm.
as a personal trainer. You also mentioned that you were thinking about doing a Miss Fitness or...
I'm playing with the idea, yeah.
Okay, so the bottom line is you want to make sure that you're in your most optimal form and you're doing things structurally sound, biomechanically efficient when you're going through your workout program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you were just to do a simple, let's say unloaded lunge, what would you do?
Go down to the floor and go back up.
Okay, so here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
At exercisebay.com, we're always trying to look for the solution. Okay, we see an exercise, and how are we going to make that exercise better? So right now you saw Kendall step forward in a lunge. It's not her fault. Okay, her trainer told her to step forward. So as she steps forward, her weight distribution goes forward. She lifted her heel a little bit. I don't know if you caught that. She lifted the heel. She drove her femur right through her patella, pulled on the PCL, the ACL, all the lateral and collateral ligaments of that knee were basically shoved forward. If she does that in a repetition range with load, that'll add more momentum, and eventually she'll have some type of a knee problem. Now the stimulus, the regional emphasis in a walk forward lunge is half that of a static lunge or step back lunge. Okay, so when you talk about volume, Kendall is basically saying to me, I want to put the most volume, the most stimulus, the most emphasis. I want to build the most muscle. I want to be in the optimal position. I don't want to get hurt. What type of position does my body need to be in? Let's talk about unloaded right now, in a lunge. That would be the last thing I would do with her. So we're going to go over that right now. We'll be right back, exercisebay.com.